Do you want to put up a business? Do you want to explore the industries where you can grow your money? Or are you hesitating because of the COVID-19 crisis? Perhaps you have reservations and you don't want to gamble with your money and lose your investment. History will tell us that businesses are as old as humans. It has always been there alongside the development of the human race. As human civilization advances, businesses also grow and prosper. However, its performance was also largely connected to the economic performance in general. If the economy is performing well in general, then businesses will likely flourish and continue to grow. Similarly, if the economy crashes and recession happens, businesses will also suffer. At this time, it is understandable that some might be hesitating to open up a business. No one knows when the pandemic will end. No one knows when the economy can bounce back and return to normal. With the implementation of lockdowns globally, some businesses even have to close down. The world underwent an economic recession as people cut back on their spending, lowering the demand in the market. Tourism and hospitality industry were badly hit. Several restaurants, eateries, and hotels had to stop their operations. Businesses have to bite hard on their cash reserves and government aids to survive. But even if uncertainties cloud the market, a perfect opportunity actually opened up for some industries. Although pandemics cause recession and dips in the market, it also creates new markets and opportunities for some industries. Unlike some businesses that had to close down due to lockdowns and low demands, some industries and businesses actually gained their momentum during the pandemic. The lockdowns catalyzed the growth of small companies and fueled various startups. Although this growth is shrouded with uncertainties and anxieties, innovations that rode along these changes prospered. The pandemic definitely changed the direction of the government along with the economy and businesses. Traditional systems and processes in doing businesses have now shifted to address the needs of the new market brought by the COVID-19 crisis. Remote working is now mainstream and supply chains are disrupted. There are also changes in consumer needs. This shift will definitely create long-term effects and disruption, totally reshaping the business sector from here forward. If you want to gain an advantage, then it is better for you to focus not just on the risk posed by COVID-19, but rather on the opportunities it created. For today, we will discuss these opportunities and what lies ahead for you. Make sure to watch this video to the end if you want to know the in-demand industries to explore that will likely boom post-pandemic. Now let's get right into the video. Number 1. Investing in the stock market. One of the wisest pieces of advice on investing given by the famous investor Warren Buffett is, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. Buffett remarked that when the market dips, a fearful person will usually start selling off his stocks out of fear of losing money. They fear that their investments lose their value and the market will never recover. However, Warren advises that instead of selling off your shares and stocks, the opposite should actually be done. When stock prices crash, this is actually the best time to buy, and buy. The best time to invest is when the market crashes. This is the best time that a smart investor should buy stocks and shares at low prices and wait through when the market recovers. Take note, however, that not all stock prices recover. Hence, you must do your diligent research to determine which stock to invest in. If possible, also seek advice from experts. Number 2. Online buying and selling. The spread of COVID-19 has definitely forced the adoption of remote working, digital technologies, and even online buying and selling. Online buying and selling, which is simply known as e-commerce, has continually gained momentum in the past decades. But only when the pandemic happened that it truly gained wide acceptance and went mainstream. Due to lockdowns and to contain the spread of the coronavirus, people shifted from physically going to stores to shopping online. People who were stuck at home went online to do their shopping and groceries. This growing demand for online buying and selling certainly benefited e-commerce companies like Amazon, eBay, and Alibaba. Some people even projected that this shift to online commerce may become permanent even post-pandemic. Even skeptics are slowly gaining more acceptance of e-commerce as they see faster progress towards online retail. Companies will also be able to lower their operating costs as they will not be needing expensive real estate to run and operate their businesses. If you want to ride this boom and growth, you should consider exploring this industry as it is likely to shoot even more forward post-pandemic. Number 3. Digital marketing services. Over the past decade, digital marketing has been increasingly gaining popularity. Although some companies are cutting down on their digital marketing spending due to the economic recession brought by COVID-19, the industry will likely experience a major boom post-pandemic. Industries that closed down and businesses that had to cut down on their operating expenses are expected to recover when this pandemic is over. When these businesses resume, they will more likely explore digital marketing to reach more audiences. Therefore, consider these pandemic lockdowns as an opportunity to develop your digital marketing skills to position yourself in this market. This is Financial Intellect, where we promote that to be finance savvy, we are your buddy. Before we move on to the next one, I'll give you some time to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you've loved the video thus far. Please leave a comment below if you found this video interesting and informative. Let's continue on to the next industry. Number 4. The rise of the gig economy. The gig economy, independent contracting, freelance work, and associated startups will likely gain more momentum post-pandemic as companies will opt to reduce their full-time employees to lower their fixed costs. The pandemic has changed how businesses operate and compete over the years. There is now a growing demand for freelance work and gigs. Businesses will more likely succeed if they can capitalize on this rise of online remote workers. Those who don't will probably find themselves at a disadvantage when the coronavirus is over. Consider exploring this industry to compete in the changing business landscape post-pandemic. Number 5. Online learning services. Many schools and universities had to close down during the outbreak of the coronavirus. As no one knows when this pandemic will end, no one knows when classes will resume back to normal. The reality that students will have to stay at home to contain the spread of the virus has forced the development of online learning both for students and faculty alike. The world shifted from traditional education to online education. This shift may even bring permanent changes in the education industry post-pandemic. Even before the spread of COVID-19, there have already been discussions that online learning will challenge traditional education systems. It was not until the pandemic, however, that online learning truly gained more momentum. Online learning went mainstream, and there is a possibility that it could even edge out current learning systems when the pandemic is over. Certainly, traditional education will not disappear. However, online learning will certainly provide a greater option. Businesses that will position themselves in online training and distance learning will certainly benefit profoundly post-pandemic. Number 6. Online collaboration apps, software programs, and platforms. COVID-19 pandemic certainly altered traditional teaching and learning. As discussed previously, it forced schools to shift from traditional learning to online learning. It also forced schools and businesses alike to embrace the digital forms of connection. With this shift, of course, comes the emergence and mainstreaming of online collaboration tools. These tools refer to apps, software programs, or platforms that help streamline processes and work. As businesses adopt remote working, the demand and market for these tools will continue to grow. Tools like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Hangouts will continue to grow even post-pandemic. In addition, digital media and entertainment also grew and expanded as more people stayed at home and shifted online to ease their boredom. Now is a good time to explore this industry, as this will most likely continue to boom even after this pandemic is over. Number 7. Agriculture sector. When the pandemic hit, the biggest problem that confronted cities and countries was food security. When governments implemented lockdowns to contain the spread of coronavirus, the result is inflation and food shortages. The pandemic certainly disrupted the agriculture sector. It has even closed down several businesses in the hospitality industry, which in turn contributed to the low demand for agricultural products. Agri-businesses have to explore digital marketing and technologies to market their products and to stay afloat. This will most likely continue post-pandemic. The possibility of a low food supply is still high. Hence, this will create opportunities for people who want to explore the agriculture sector to fill in the gap and address these shortages. You might want to consider exploring this industry if you are looking at where to invest and grow your money. Now you know what businesses and industries you should look out for post-pandemic. What do you think? Is there any other industry that we missed? Feel free to comment down below and we'll be happy to respond to them. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you've watched, stay tuned for more videos. Bye, financial buddies!